Trying this again. Hopefully it'll go okay. I just tried to stream, but it came out really shitty. I fixed some settings up. I did get a new laptop, so I had to fix some things. So hopefully now it'll be good. And hopefully the delay isn't too bad either. Sorry, I have allergies. Okay. Things are looking decent. Things are looking decent. Alright, I'm not getting any bad messages yet, so things are good. So, I'm going to just say what I was saying before, now that my quality is decent, that I've been gone for a long time, and I apologize for that. I blew past 5,000 subscribers, and then I kind of hit a brick wall at 50, 30-ish, and I've been gone ever since. And so it's been probably like a month, and I had some pretty bad, more health problems that got kind of worse, which a lot of you already know about them. So I'm not even gonna spend my time talking about them. Maybe one day down the line I'll do an actual video about everything, but at this point it's just easier to not do that. But so I wanted to just let you know that I am back, and I wanted to do like a Q&A thing, and also give more updates on game development, because that's what I've been doing. It's been very stressful, very busy. And yeah, so good stuff. It looks like the stream's still healthy too, which is nice. Looks like my settings might actually be pretty good. So yeah, I will just hang out for a bit, and if you're watching this later, awesome. I should actually have my overlay on, but I don't have it set up. Normally I have an overlay up so you can see the chat and stuff later, but I don't have that up right now, so I apologize for that. Okay, we got people in here. Mr. Gimmick, what's up? Sorry, I had to do my little intro there, and sorry about the last stream. The quality was kind of shitty, so obviously you were there. So I fixed some settings, and here we are a few minutes later, back at it. I gotta let the people on Snapchat know. If you want to add me on Snapchat, I will reply with all your questions, and all the links to everything of my social stuff is in the description. Life is Strange isn't shitty. Life is Strange is great. I haven't played the new one yet. I want to. I just played Gone Home for the first time. Incredible game. Right up my alley. Right up my alley. Really good game. A strong narrative. And it was free this month, I think. I have it on Xbox, and it was free. Really fun. Really, well, yeah, really short. It probably took me, I'm a very big explorer. It probably took me about an hour and a half, but I've heard people have completed it in like 45 minutes ish, easy. So I know that, like, to them, whatever, but I spend a lot of time on games and stuff. So for me, it took about an hour and a half, and then I went back and I got all the achievements and stuff. Um, so yeah. Fuck. My quality is dipping again. I turned off my Xbox. I turned off... What else do I have connected here? Fucking hotspot sucks dick. God. Turn off. There we go. And that's dead. What else needs to die? Have you ever played Yakuza? No, but I know what you're talking about. Those are the PS4 games, right? Sorry, my brother texted me. You should try playing it. It's fun. I know it's really popular series. I know that it's pretty popular. Uh, Saman, hi bro. Sorry, I missed that one. Hello, sir. Okay, I turned some things off. I think my switch is on, but that doesn't seem to affect my internet much when it's sleeping. Actually, I think it might be off. I have really shitty internet, as you guys know. I might be getting good internet soon, though. We'll see. Not a Persona fan. I'm not really a JRPG person, really. But Persona 5 I've heard is really good. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I know the music's really great in Persona 5. God, it's so weird to be streaming again. It's been so long. Let's actually see. Let's see how long it's been since I fucking posted a video. I don't even know. That's how long I've been gone. September 6th. Okay, so literally a month. Jesus. Best soundtrack. You know what? I really like the soundtrack to Hue. I know I've said that a million times, but how's the audio quality? Does that sound okay? Hue's free on Vita? Oh man. Oh wait, I don't have PlayStation Plus anyway. I would get it to play it again, get some trophies anyway. I love that game. You should get it for sure. My friend Henry made that. Like we're not like friends, but we're friends, if that makes sense. Like we don't like talk every day, but we talk here and there. If that makes sense. He's a cool guy. And then I'm also the guy who helped him, Dan DeRoca. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. He made Cube, and Cube 2 is coming out soon. And I'm friends with him as well. All right, let's see. What is your favorite game? My favorite game, it's hard to say. I can give you a couple of my favorite games in multiple genres because that'll be easier for me. So, like my favorite online shooter, Gimmick's gonna hate me for this. My favorite shooter is my favorite multiplayer shooter is Overwatch. My favorite indie game is Hue. My favorite single player game is the Dead Rising series. My favorite story-based game is probably no, not Life is Strange. It's probably the Walking Dead ones, maybe. Story-based. Actually, Gone Home was really good, but I'm trying to think of something that's more episodic than that. My game, Where We Live. No, I'm just kidding. Um, favorite MMO would probably be World of Warcraft, just because it's the only one I really played for a long time. Favorite RPG would probably be Diablo 2. I'd say favorite game of this generation, like in general, like as a AAA, is probably The Evil Within. It's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite. Um, my favorite new IP of this generation, I think. And The Evil Within 2 comes out soon. I actually am replaying number 1 again, and which is awesome. So, um, Until Dawn was really good too. Shit, it's so hard to pick. What about PSP FIFA? Actually, well, I have FIFA Soccer on Vita, and FIFA Soccer on Vita is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, FIFA game. Is FIFA Soccer on Vita. It's the one I'm probably the best at out of all the FIFA games. I do play a decent amount of FIFA, especially with my friend. I haven't played in a while. I don't buy like the newest sport game usually. The only time that really happened was with NBA 2K for a couple of years. I bought 2K14, which was sweet. It had some bugs, but whatever. I really liked the be a player mode. And then I bought 2K15 the next year, and I hardly ever buy like any sport game the day it comes out because why pay $60 when you can get the year before for 20? But because there's really not many changes other than like roster, and I don't care about roster stuff. I mean, there's minor changes, but you know what I mean. So, um, but PS Vita FIFA, um, PS Vita FIFA Soccer is really good. I also really like FIFA 15 on Xbox or PS4, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's the same on anything. But um, NBA 2K6, probably played it one day long ago. But yeah. And I know you're being sarcastic by asking what's Overwatch, but anyway, I've played over 500 hours in Overwatch. Got my silver portrait. It's fancy as hell. 4 golden guns, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. It's good stuff. So yeah, good stuff. What happened to my chat? The chat disappeared. Oh no. There it is. Ben, are you still going to do more deep fried Oreo or Twinkie streams? I should, because you know what's funny? That stream actually did really well. Um, and I think it's because it was just such a random thing that I should really do more random streams like that, I think. Um, it's harder to do it now that I'm living here because internet sucks. Whereas when I was in Albany, I had like top notch internet. But speaking of Twinkies, my fat ass happens to have limited edition chocolate Twinkies right now. So, you know, that's kind of funny that you said that. I actually haven't done a Twinkie stream, I don't think. But that would be kind of cool to do. Peaceful Rain Keeper, what's up? What's up, man? I just assumed your gender, but, you know. I identify as a toaster, so who am I to judge? Alright, everybody, lay the questions on me. What do you want to know? I'll probably tell you anything. Except for some things, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Unless you want me to get into the game design stuff. I was kind of waiting for someone else to bring that up. So, not much. I'm a guy. Cool. I am too. But I identify as a toaster. You know why I identify as a toaster? Because great things come from a toaster. Toaster strudel. Toast. Lots of things. And toaster strudel is important. Everybody make sure you can. I get questions on Snapchat. Let me see. I think I just got a snap. Come on, phone. Phone's being a pain in the ass today. Sorry the quality sucks today too. I feel like every time I stream I have to say that. Saw your stream. What's your favorite game? Okay, I already answered this, but some of the ones I mentioned was Overwatch. It's probably my favorite. One of my favorite, you know, shooters right now. Anyway, you know, I did mention that earlier. If you're still watching, let me know. I'll reply to your snap later or something. What game design are you thinking about? Design. Okay, what game design are you thinking about? So I'm actually currently developing 2 games. So I have updates on both, kinda, but I didn't want to just like start talking about it if people weren't interested. So I put it in the title, waiting for others to bring it up because I do have a couple hundred people out of my 5,000 subscribers that care, and so I threw it in the title because I have updates, but I just didn't want to bring it up on my own, I guess. My mind's tired and I I don't I can't even speak. I feel your pain. That's all I have to say. I feel your pain. I should probably take my medicine. I forgot about my medicine. Shit. It's too late now. Actually, it's not. It is. Never mind. I'm going to stop rambling. Anyway. Fuck. I keep yawning. Shit. What else you guys got for me? What else you got? Do your worst. Please don't, actually. Too tired to handle your worst. I need to stop doing streams so late. I have played Backyard Wrestling 2 Gimmick. I need to buy it, though. Oh, that's cool. You're here for the game development stuff. I didn't know you were one of the people who cared. That's cool. Yeah, so then I will just go through everything if you want. Do you want me to talk about video game or card game? You decide. Or future, because I have future plans. I can't really talk too much about them, though. I have so many games planned. It's great. I've got this whole roadmap. Kinda. Yeah. All games suck. Gimmick, you're a pain in the ass. What kind of game you designing? An app phone game? No. So I am making a physical card game called F-Life, a card game about adulthood. It's a physical game that you buy in like the store. And then the video game I'm making is called Where We Live, and it is it's a black and white story-based game about a boy in his dream to become a pianist. Let me put some links here if you want. There you go. There's some links to some social media. Facebook will probably give you the best. And on my personal Instagram, I also post some stuff. But yeah, so the game's called Where We Live. It is a black and white story-based narrative game where you play as a boy named Joseph, and his dream is to become a pianist. And so you start at age 5, and you play through his life, and it is an episodic-based game, but it's going to be really cheap. And actually, I can. Let me see. It's music's very important in it. I've done videos on it before. But let me see if I can at least get you one screenshot or something. That's not so great. I'm trying to find something. Alright, if I do this, maybe. My desktop's a mess right now. So I will just make this big. Like this. And it'll be easier. And then I can actually pop open my desktop and show you some stuff. Whoa. Let's drag this down. There we go. And hold on, I'm just getting some things set up, and then I can show you some screenshots if you like. I won't spend too much time. I'm not going to open up the engine and like do all that. I've done that in the past. I just don't want to waste anyone's time, because I'm not going to be here all night, because it is 6 a.m. here. I haven't gone to sleep yet, so okay. Alright, let me just jump back here. Which store would Where We Live can I get this game? So it'll be on Steam first. So it'll be on Steam and PC first and foremost, and then hopefully Mac and Linux, it can launch at the same time. It depends on how porting goes. Linux can be kind of tricky, so it'll be on Steam, Mac, Linux, and then Xbox One, and then hopefully PS4, Vita, and Switch. It all depends on how the development cycle goes. I am already in the Nintendo developer program. I already have the means to get into the PlayStation development portal. It's just Switch dev kit is like $2,000, and a PS4 dev kit is like $3,000 or something. Xbox is awesome, and it's free because I own 2 Xboxes and they are dev kits. And they also, Microsoft helps you out and sends you some free hardware, so I should be set there. But basically, it's all about PC for now. I do plan on doing a low goal Kickstarter just to get me a little money to help out. But let me pop open some. Let me get this actually out. Pop out the chat. Minimize this. I can put this right here. Yeah, there'll obviously be more videos in the future. I'm gonna put this right there, and then turn this off. There we go. So now, yeah, now the chat's there, and at least I can see what's going on there. Let me make this smaller and minimize this for now. Okay. So, actually, let me open this, make sure things look okay. Okay, so we're good. Alright, so, no, it will not be coming to Atari, unfortunately. I know we'd all love to see that. Alright, so right here, this is a great example of, oh, yep. No, that's not what I want to see. This is what I want to see. The first one wasn't a huge deal because those are going to be changed anyway. But this is a representation of all of the choices that can be made and the things that can change in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the game. So this would be the start, and then right here is when things can all change. If you do something here, you can actually end up skipping all of this middle part that affects things. So I could go into more detail here, but basically, actually, you know, let me check this first, because I kind of want to show you, but I don't want to show you, if that makes sense. Let me okay, yeah, so this will work. I can show this. So this, yeah, this is fine because this is just super early. I just didn't want to give any spoilers or anything, and most of this is going to change anyway. So let me just take this back off, and we'll open this back up. So I'll give you a quick breakdown of how this works for choices, because this is a big decision-making game. Little things can really change everything. So this is in the very beginning of the game. And yeah, so spoiler alert a little bit. Some of this will change anyway. So basically, this is just a representation of my plan. So basically, let's say you go to school and you're supposed to go to the classroom. But if you mess around outside of the classroom and you don't go there within a certain amount of time, then you won't have time to talk to the other children and perhaps make relationship changes, if that makes sense. So, for example, this is just, again, this is a, just as an example, you show up to school and you have to go to class. And when you get to the class, there's extra time to talk to these kids and, you know, whatever. So you can go in here and you can talk to them, and relationships can potentially change based on what you say or what their responses to what you say are, things like that. But if you don't go to class right away and you're late, you don't get this opportunity to make those changes. So you go straight to, you know, the end of the class, recess, and then based on these things, things change based on, you know, other things. And then, you know, so if you go to recess and you go by yourself to recess, then, you know, nothing will change because you go by yourself. But if you went with Mike, then maybe you'd paint, and or if you went with Julie, maybe you'd go on the swings, and then relationships would change because you're playing with them or whatever, you know. So that's just a quick representation, and that's just that's like 30 minutes of the first 30 minutes of the game, and most likely some of that'll change. But so here's a good picture. So it's 2D characters in a 3D world. Actually, that's not a great photo. Here is one. This is a lighthouse scene here, and I should minimize this so it's not annoying. So this right here is a lighthouse scene. There's steps that go up to it. And this is reflection. Right here, this black area is where land is, but that hasn't been filled out yet because this is actually a location in Chapter 2. It was pretty much made just for proof of concept, and I think this is probably my favorite scene. It really shows off what I can do with the black and white space, even though it's 3D, and that's a big challenge, is making a 3D game in black and white. But I'm not going to go through explaining the entire game again because I've done that tons of times. But here's an example of the classroom with him standing there now. This is not his actual size. This is going to change. And also remember, he is 5 years old here, so you got to keep in perspective of that's why he looks tiny. Yeah, so let me try. That is the company name I'm working on, Episodic. Episodic's the company name, just so you know. This is a t-shirt concept. And I think that looks kind of cool. You know, I like to plan ahead. I like to do different... Oh, that's my screenshot for this stream. I can delete that. This is the logo for where we live currently. It'll probably change. Yeah, I don't have... Alright, screw it. I know you guys probably want to see. Alright, so when Where We Live gets ported to Xbox, will it have achievements? It absolutely will. And I'm going to make them so they aren't missable because I hate that. So, you know, you can play the game however you want and you'll get them, you know. Alright, so right here is a quick scene of a hospital room that isn't finished, as you can see. But yeah, so here is now I can also go into this. I don't know if you can hear the music, but it's supposed to have this unique art style that it's supposed to look like it's penciled in, you know, things like that. So if we go to, let's go to the lighthouse that I showed you, because the lighthouse, you know, you're familiar with. Let's just hit play. So here's the lighthouse. The reflection was turned off. Let me see if I can turn that back on for you. There we go. And that was turned off for performance. But you can see here how it ripples and stuff. Now this is all prototype. Let me move this in so I can... Oh, you can hear it. Perfect. Yeah, so that is going to be actually one of the bigger locations in Chapter 2. But it also is a main menu. So, for example, when you get when you play when you play chapter 2, for example, it'll show this, and then you'll have your menu. Chapter 1 has its own menu, but it might look crappy. Don't save. It might look crappy because I'm not done. And actually, this is outdated, I think. Yeah, this is the main menu for chapter 1, but this is all different now. And that rainbow's different, and that hot air balloon isn't there. So this is all different, but so every main menu is going to have you know, like a scene, like a live scene here. And actually, let me do this too. Let me pop this open. Let's turn this on and make me small. How about that? Put me right up here. How's that? And then you can see me. So right here, it's always going to have like a meaningful quote from that chapter, and then the menu buttons, and it'll always have, you know, a nice soundtrack. And then it's not going to say this here. That was the old logo. This is just for, you know, marketing purposes, really. But this is all different, and I'll show you what the difference is now, because that has all changed. And I think, is it this? These are all prototyping levels, by the way, because me and my programmer, we're still working on some systems and stuff. So like this is currently in first person right now, just for level development. So yeah, so here's a road, and then that's just all white, and then a road. And the whole idea is that it's supposed to feel empty. So there's this big, huge, empty levels, and you can run forever. I mean, there will be barriers when you actually play, but it's supposed to look like it was just placed here, you know, in this little area, and that's it. And so this is his house. There's a lot of work to go into it. I know there's footstep noises in everything, because I just dragged in a standard first-person prefab, but you can see I made some flowers, and I've got things like that. So then there's some trees back here. And again, these trees are not to scale to the first person. And I'm sorry if it's a little laggy. I am streaming this. And I'm on a laptop, so and there's grass inside because, again, this house was quickly set up, so I haven't removed the grass from inside or anything. It's supposed to be a living room, and then like a little kitchen area, and then you go upstairs. There's a bedroom, and bathroom here, and there's actually going to be a nice grand piano right here, which he uses to practice on at home. And let me show you the school, because that's another key location I've been showing off. I haven't been showing off anything else, because these are the main scenes I've been showing. So this is actually, this will be fun for you to see. This is actually before I had 2D characters. This was 3D character, a very shitty 3D character, who is circling, rotating around an invisible shape. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. So this was a quick prototype 3D character, and what me and my modeler found, and this is actually part of the update, is, and you can see that the textures, you got to ignore the terrible rotating, but you can see how the texture's tearing, and that's just because they weren't weighted correctly. But originally it's going to be 3D characters, and what we found is it's very hard to get the detail I want in just black and white. Now, if you compare this with let's see, with this. Now look at the difference in quality there. Like, look at this here. Look at him. Look at the detail, the emotion in the eye. and then look at over here. And that was a big problem for me, and a big reason for that is you know, the characters don't have mouths. That was that's just a unique art choice. I wanted to kind of be a little unique, and so the characters don't have a mouths. It's all based on eyes and body language and stuff like that, and so this is actually the third or second or third prototype. There's going to be more detail here for the stairs. Again, like I said, it's difficult to decide what's black, what's white, but yeah. So there is it's really important that character design is perfect, and especially like in yeah, he can run into this stuff and whatever. But like I said, this oh yeah, so here he is. It's hard to see because he cuts off there, but it won't happen in the. But you can see right here, just standing next to it, and obviously its size is way different, but you can just tell in the quality. Like, look at the difference there, and you can definitely tell that with the detailed, I can do a lot more with that with emotion and stuff, and I also I've shown this off before. Let me go over here. Maybe it shows it a little bit. Yeah, so you see how like the lockers, they look like they were drawn with like a pencil. Especially as you walk, you can see the thickness change. You walk away from it. Right here, you can see how it thickens up, and it's like it loses quality. And the part of that is also because I know I'm explaining this. I've done this 100 times, but it's partly because this art style it's supposed to look like it was drawn, hand drawn, and so with a 3D character, the 3D character doesn't really look like it was drawn. So with the 2D character, it looks like it's paper. So the whole idea is it's like this ink and paper type deal. And so as I move farther and farther away, you can see that it starts to like you can see the lines, and if I go towards it, you can see it get filled in. And as you get closer, it gets finer and finer. And that was actually kind of a happy accident when I was designing the art style for the game. So when I came up with the idea of mixing 2D with 3D, it worked out really well. And it kind of reminds me of like a Paper Mario thing, which is what I'm kind of going for, or South Park. How the South Park characters move left and right, but when they move forward, they still stay with the left orientation, but when they go completely forward, it's a back view. So I'm working, it's a very small team, so I am the main guy behind everything. Obviously, I do basically everything in terms of level design, putting the game together. I do all of that. And I'm just going to run through the school here. I have a character artist who did the 2D character from my concept art that I had done. So a few years ago, I had a piece of concept art done. And this is terrible to run around with this character, but it gives you an idea of the school a little bit. It's really hard to maneuver with this broken 3D character, but and then I put some lines here on the floor and stuff just to give a little extra detail inside, so that way it wasn't just black hallway. It just gives it a little bit more. And so once I got I'm still working with, I've got me, it's myself, my awesome programmer, and then I have a character designer, 2D character artist. I have a 3D modeler that I hire sometimes for certain things. And then in here is like the kitchen to the cafeteria. I haven't finished coloring this stuff in, but you can see the oven looks really cool, stuff like that. And then I have a music guy. So basically I write the music, and then he takes those tracks and makes them sound like you're hearing now. Sometime I'll have to do a comparison. Oh yeah, and then in here we have like a lecture hall, but it's hard to to see, really. So, yep, I'm just running around the school a little bit. I will be going through these comments in a minute too, so don't worry if I miss something. I will be going back. So basically, it's 2D characters in a 3D world, and then there are some other 2D aspects of it as well. Out here we have the playground, which, you know, the kids spend a lot of their time at recess, and we have a track here, and then we have, you know, soccer goal, stuff like that. So let me back out of here, and I'm just gonna quit out of here and then open this back up. And so yeah, let's just open up a screenshot. So this is school auditorium. This is in-game footage, of course. I'm just gonna keep this here for a second while I talk to you. Okay, when Really Live gets ported to Xbox, will it have achievements? Yes, it will. I like this. This is the type of game I like to play, and that is awesome because I love these kinds of games. I love that t-shirt design. Thank you so much. Looks like a fun game, Ben. Thank you so much, Cat Mafia. You are awesome. You hear it? Yeah, that was the music. How is it like? How is it developing games? It's amazing. It is so great. Now, this is my first video game that I've really gone full public with. I've messed around with game development before, but I never really pushed anything too much. I did have a game in development, but I wasn't really making it myself. I actually had a company making it for me. I was paying them, and they backed out, and there was this whole thing. But yeah, so sorry, I keep yawning. I also made a card game that I'm working on still as well, so that's been stressful. The card game I made is a dark humor party card game called F-Life, a card game about adulthood. Raised over $10,000 on Kickstarter, so I've been pushing through that. I still have a lot of work to do on that as well. And let's see, that's fine. Will these chapters be all in the game, or like the Telltale games where we get episodes like every 2 or 3 months? So it's going to be like Telltale, I think, anyway. Just because I'm not really sure. Like, it would take a long time for me to be able to financially support it, to be all at once, because it's a big story. It's not going to be crazy expensive, but so like, for example, you play through his life. So chapter 1, you start at age 5 and you go to maybe age 15. I can't really remember. I got to check my notes of where I left it. So, you know, it's broken up like that. And I'd like it to be like around 5 chapters, maybe. And each one will probably be about $3 a piece. So, you know, if it's 5 chapters, $15, $20 game-ish area. So 5 or 6 chapters, you know, is what I'm planning on doing. And you don't play every single year of his life. So, like, in the beginning, you start at age 5, and then, you know, it skips to age 6, and then it skips to 8, and then maybe to 10, you know. So in each chapter will be a couple hours. I'm hoping at least 1 to 2 hours a piece. So it's not going to be the longest game, but it's more about the story. You know, that's what story games are about. It's really about the story and everything. So let's go back and see. I like the new detailed version. Yeah, the 2D character is much better. Really nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's say the game gets mixed reviews on the game. When it comes... I'm sorry. My brain is not working right now. Okay. Let's say this game gets mixed reviews on the game when it comes. Any possible chance that in the future we get a sequel to the game? Well, the game is not going to have a sequel, probably. And that's because it won't have a sequel because it's going to be one full episodic game. So yeah, that's the reason for that. So it's not going to have a sequel, I don't think. Like, there wouldn't be like a Where We Live 2. There's just going to be multiple chapters to tell the story. And I have 5 video games planned. All different stories, all different, all different. They don't link together or anything. So I have probably about 5, I think. Let me see, 4 or 5. And then I have the card game on the side. So I have kind of the card game, which I'm going to keep releasing expansions for and everything. And then, and then work on video games. I'm sorry, I was totally blanking there. But yeah, so anyway, I never even got to really the updates. The updates is F-Life is coming along. I had some pretty serious health stuff happen again, which a lot of you guys know that I have it. So, so yeah, I had some health problems, so that delayed the card game, and the card game is kind of the priority now because I raised 10 grand on Kickstarter. I have an obligation to that to finish that first, but I'm also working on this on the side, and what really it's really stressful because there's so much to do, and my illustrator is both the 2D character artist on Where We Live and the one of the illustrators on the card game. Me and her and myself are the illustrators on the card game, and there's a lot to be done with that. And so I have a lot on my plate right now, so I've just been really busy with that. But Where We Live, we finally settled on, or I finally settled on that I want the 2D characters, so I'm working with the animators now to come up with, I'm still working on the animation thing to come up with the best style, and then when that's done, my programmer are going to throw it into prototyping. The nice thing is that everything up to this point has been programmed with a controller, so it's from the beginning, it's being set up to work with a controller now, so that way later on, as I get dev kits for different consoles and as I start porting, it'll make it a lot easier. Like I said, it'll probably come to Xbox One first just because it's fastest for development. Sorry. We will be able to buy it on Steam when it releases. Yes, so it'll be on Steam. I'm also going to be doing a Kickstarter where you'll be able to get it at a really good discount. So I'll be doing a Kickstarter for Chapter 1. And it's going to be name your price, so you can go in there and give me like $2 and you'll get Chapter 1. Or you can give me $1 and you'll get Chapter 1. So it's kind of like a big demo, basically. Chapter 1 it's a Kickstarter just for Chapter 1. And then there will be some other tiers. So there will be like a package where you get the Chapter 1, you get the soundtrack, you get your name in the credits, things like that. There will be 1 or 2 tiers, but for the most part, it's just going to be Chapter 1, name your price thing, just to give me just a little bit of money to push it forward and also prove the concept and make sure people like the idea. You have a degree in game development, or are you learning on your own without a degree? Sorry, I keep yawning. I apologize. I don't have a degree. I have a certificate in web development. I have credits in college, but not for game development. I took one game development class, but it was more like game theory. It wasn't even game development. I took a few programming classes, but pretty much everything I know, I just learned myself. So marketing is a big strong suit for me. Project management and marketing is kind of my big thing, but I do pretty much everything. So logo design and everything you saw in the game put together. That I put it together. Some assets were bought, some I had people make, some, it's just like I take everything and I make it into a game. So I buy assets, or I pay a programmer to do some work, or I mean, I do a lot of my own asset creation. A lot of the 2D work you see, I did. Some of the custom shader work I did. So, I do a lot of my own work, but I just mean like, so like I have a programmer that does all the heavy lifting, and then I do certain things because I'm not a strong programmer, but I can read it. I can read and edit code, but I can't really write it from scratch very well. And then I'm a big marketer. I'm really good at marketing and good at crowdfunding campaigns and talking to people and project management, working with my team and communicating and staying organized. So, I hold down the fort. I delegate the tasks. I take everything from that and I put it together. And that makes it sound like I don't do much of my own, but I do a lot of my own stuff in the game as well. Um, I also am writing the game, of course. Music I work on. So I basically do a little bit of everything, but I'm not strong in one area, which kind of frustrates me. I wish I was stronger in every area so I could whip through a lot of the stuff on my own. But I'm not strong in every area. I wish I was, but you know, maybe one day I'll get more professional training or something. I've spent the last, let's see, 2000, probably roughly 10 years training, whether it was in web design or game design or whatever. Pretty much everything I know I taught myself. And that's kind of one of the better ways to go with some guidance, I think. If you want to do something, do it. And I know that sounds really cliche. I'm not going to tell you that uh, anything you dream is possible, or anything you want to do is possible, because that's not possible. And I know that's true. Like, my dream when I was a kid was to be an architect, and I know I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. And I know there's things out there that people just can't do. But if you want to do it, try it. And so never think you shouldn't try something at least. So if you want to do it. If it doesn't work out, find something. Things don't work out, and I know I sound very negative, but there's been many things in my life that hasn't worked out that I wish have. But if you want to do it, try it, give it a go. Download Unity, pop it open, fuck around with shit, see what you can do with it. That's probably the best advice I could give you. If you have no idea where to start, download Unity, open it up, go wild, see what you can do. Play with the terrain creation tool, go online and find some free 3D models or something and throw them in there. If you want to learn programming, teamtreehouse.com is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite places to go to learn a specific subject. I haven't used that in years, but I used that a lot back when I was learning web design. Sorry, but they have a lot of other stuff there, like programming and stuff, which is good. And we're reaching the hour mark, so I'm going to go in a minute or two here. And again, in the description is all my social media. You can go to those. You can comment on my stuff. You can message me. I always try and reply to everybody. It's really hard to reply to everyone's comments on YouTube with all the changes they've made. The notification button it shows me like a list of notifications, but it doesn't really show me all of them. And then when I click one, it doesn't always bring me to that comment, so it's kind of hard. So if you want to add me on Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, whatever, do whatever you want. So yeah, add me on social media. And you can ask me questions. You can tweet me. You can message me on Instagram, comment on photos, do whatever you want. Ask me questions. I'm a very open guy. I'm not like one of these stuck up YouTubers that's all like, oh, I'm too good for all of you. Although I'm only at 5,000 subscribers, so I shouldn't be like that anyway. But let's see. Thank you, Ben. You gave good advice. I try. That is actually one of my other strong suits. I'm really good at giving advice, especially when it comes to relationships, which is really weird. I've always been great with relationship advice. I am the reason 3 couples are happily married. I have kept multiple relationships from falling apart. I've always been really good at advice. So if anybody ever needs anything, well, let me know, because I'm your friend, and you're my friend. So if anybody ever needs something, you let me know. Do it. Do it. Because I'll be here. Because I am an extremely stressed out person 99% of the time, and very depressed. I get depressed a lot, but I don't cry about it on social media, and I don't make a big deal about it, because it's not a big deal. You just got to deal with it. You know, it's one of those things. So I know how to deal with a lot of things. I know what people are thinking when they're going through a lot. So I'm really good at giving advice. If especially I get questions all the time of people that are in high school or just in college, and they're like, I'm not sure what I want to focus on studying. I don't know what I want to go to college for. I don't know what to do in my life. I'm very good at answering that question, because I asked that question 5 times. I changed my degree, I can't tell you how many times when I was in college. There was a time where I was going for 5 majors at once. That's a good story for another day. But yeah, so if anybody needs advice on game development or hacking or computer stuff or anything like that, because I get those questions all the time, I always know how to help. So I think that is probably as good as any time, good as good of time as any to end the stream, I think. So if anybody has any last thoughts, please let me know, and I will wait a minute. I'll give it another minute here. I'll let you get your last few comments in, because I know there's that delay. Yeah, and then I will hopefully talk to you guys next time. I'm glad I got my streaming settings set up, so I'm streaming okay, so that's good. My amiibos. Do you like my amiibos? I didn't really have a good place for them, so I just kind of have them stuck on that shelf there. But, you know. Alright, it looks like everyone's done talking. So that's good. I think, right? That's good. Alright, well, thank you everybody so much for stopping in. And I will see you later, Cat Mafia. Thank you so much for hanging out for this past hour. It's been really fun talking to some of you. So, again, yeah, I appreciate you guys for stopping in, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you again so much for taking an interest in the games I'm developing too. I really appreciate it. So, good night, everybody.